Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can make your voice sound better in Audacity. Basically, we're going to go from this is a test recording of how to process your sound in Audacity, to this. This is a test recording of how to process your sound in Audacity. Now, the reason it's so important to learn to edit your sound in Audacity is because Audacity is a free program that allows any YouTuber to make their sound like a pro. And honestly, especially if you're new, there is no reason to be paying for software to edit your sound when free resources like Audacity and Levelator are available to help you take your sound to the next level. Now, Audacity is how you process your sound. Levelator is a tool that you can put your sound in if you use a function like noise reduction in Audacity in order to make your sound normal again. See, when you put your sound in Audacity and you use the noise reduction feature, it reduces the sound of the entire track. So you want to drag your completed track and put it in Levelator in order to make your voice again sound normal. And these two resources are the bare minimum that you need in order to get your sound to sound professional on your channel. And the first thing that you want to do is upload your raw footage to your editing software. Once you've done this, you want to separate your audio track by detaching it in your editing software. After you've detached your audio track, process it out and upload that track to Audacity. Now, if the track is not in the .wav format, you may have a hard time uploading it to Audacity and Levelator, but if you can put the file in the right format, you shouldn't have any trouble dragging and dropping the file into Audacity. Now, once you've done that and you've got that track in there, if you want to use the noise reduction feature, this is how you can remove things like breaths and any background sound that might be in your track. And you just have to realize, though, that this is applying this to the whole track, and so it will reduce the sound of your normal voice. And so you've got to make sure that once you've used this feature, that you drag and drop your track into Levelator in order to make it sound normal again. And once you've completed this process, then you will bring your edited track back into your editing software, delete the old sound, and combine the tracks. And now you've removed things like breaths from your track so that it sounds more pleasant to listen to. If you're having a hard time converting your file to the proper format to use in Audacity, I would suggest using the website Converto. This is an easy way to get this done, and I use this website all the time. So once you've dragged and dropped your file into Audacity, the first thing that you want to do is select your track and then go to View, Zoom, and then Zoom Normal. Now, the reason you want to do this is this will expand the audio so that you can see things like breaths and any background noise that might exist in your track. Now, I would personally recommend that you don't use the noise reduction feature and instead go through manually and repair the audio. But if you want to use noise reduction, I'll explain exactly how to do that. So to use the noise reduction feature, what you need to do is first select a portion of your track that represents the issue, whether it's like background noise or a breath, and then go to Effects, Noise Reduction, and when that pop-up pops up on your screen, click Get Noise Profile. Now, what you've done is you basically told Audacity what you want to remove from your whole track. Now you need to select the whole track, go Effects, Noise Reduction, and this will apply the noise reduction to the whole track. Now, as you can see, this reduces the whole track, including your own voice, which is why it's so important after you've run noise reduction one or more times that you process out that track and run it through Levelator in order to make your voice sound more normal. Personally, what I like to do is I like to go through the audio track one little bit at a time and edit out one breath at a time completely. Now, there's some differences in opinion about how you should edit your sound. Some people say that you should leave some of the breath sound in order to make your track sound more natural. But what I prefer to do is completely remove the breath, and then when I upload that audio track into my editing software, then I simply cut out about half of that space where I was breathing to make the pause shorter. And this is called editing out dead space. And I like to remove any issues with the audio track before I move on to the other phases of editing my sound. Now, if you use the noise reduction feature, I would say this is the bare minimum for getting your sound ready to upload it to YouTube. See, not everybody wants to go through as much work as I do because I repair the audio completely, individually, one little bit at a time. And while this might seem tedious, I think this makes the video sound a lot better and a lot more natural because no matter how much you use Levelator, I still feel like your sound doesn't sound as normal like yourself if you don't repair it personally and then move on to the other phases of editing your sound. After you've used the noise reduction feature, it's super easy to process out your raw track and drop it into Levelator. Now, Levelator is kind of a funny program because it'll just sit on your screen as this little rectangular box, and you'll need to drag the files into Levelator. And Levelator accepts .wav files, which is the format that I use. And when it's done processing your track will appear on your desktop as an output file. So it might seem confusing. You're like, is it complete? Well, just wait for the file to appear on your desktop. And then you know that your file has been levelated and is ready to use in your video file. If you're finding this video to be helpful, would you do me a favor and hit the like button so this video can get boosted out to more people? So you're probably thinking, well, how do I manually remove things like breaths in my audio track? Well, what you want to do is you go to Effects, then Amplify, and once the pop-up appears on the screen, Amplify is an interesting feature because this is something that you can select a portion of your track and make it louder or quieter. So what you want to do is move that dial to the left of where it originally is, basically until you get a negative number. I typically use somewhere between -5 and -10. And when you have done this, when you click OK, what happens is the portion that you selected on the track will be reduced by that amount. And sometimes you want to repeat this process multiple times. Personally, what I do is I keep clicking Repeat Amplify until I've removed the breath completely, because that's the way that I like to edit my sound. And you can kind of decide what you think sounds natural and what you want to do on your channel. But by using the Repeat Amplify function, you can keep removing something until it's gone. And basically, an important thing to think about with Audacity is whatever the last function you were to use, that option to repeat that function will appear under the Effects menu. And so if you've used another feature like Normalize, for example, then it will probably appear as Repeat Normalize. So this is a way that you can easily continuously repeat that function until that portion of the sound that you're working on is at the level that you're looking for. So once you have repaired your audio, the next thing that you want to do, and this is really the important part of this video, is you're going to want to select your whole track and then go to Effects and follow the following process. So first you'll go to Filter Curve. Now with Filter Curve, I haven't completely configured my personal settings yet. You're basically supposed to have a curve that goes like this. And you'll need to tweak the settings of this so that the output produces sound the way that you want your voice to sound. But basically run Filter Curve on your track, then go to Normalize, use the default settings unless you want to change them. After you've normalized the track, then go to Compressor. I also use the default settings. After Compressor has run, then select Normalize and normalize the track again. So basically this process is Filter Curve, Normalize, Compressor, Normalize. This process is the process you want to go through to make your sound richer. Basically, what will happen is if you listen to your track beforehand and your track afterward, you'll be amazed at how much louder your voice sounds. And this is really helpful to make your sound richer when you actually upload your file back into your editing software. So once you've run that process, you want to process out your sound and upload that track into your editing software. And now you have edited your sound for your video. If you want to learn more about how to get more subscribers to your channel using only your iPhone, make sure that you click the video on the screen, and I will see you over there in that video.